Hold on to your tea, because this one's not just a rumor, it's a full-on royal earthquake. Just when you thought the Harry and Meghan saga couldn't get any messier, along comes a woman known only as DL, and she's blowing the lid off everything. She's not whispering from the shadows either. DL is stepping right into the spotlight and claiming something that's got the entire monarchy shaken to its core. She says she's the real birth mother of Archie and Lilibet, not a donor, not a surrogate in the traditional sense. According to her, she carried both royal babies full term and was sworn to secrecy. Until now, and she's not just spouting stories, DL came prepared. Hospital documents, financial records, even NDAs signed back in late 2018. Her exact words, "I was promised privacy and compensation, instead I was erased from the narrative." And with that, the royal fairy tale started crumbling. What's even wilder is that she's not hiding behind any grainy camera or disguised voice. Nope, she's showing her face. Cool, calm, almost like she's been waiting for this moment. And people? Oh, they're listening. For years, there were online murmurs. Strange clips of Meghan's baby bump shifting shape, folding, or bouncing unnaturally when she walked or sat. The internet wrote it off as conspiracy theories. But now, those old videos are going viral all over again. Frame-by-frame breakdowns, TikTok sleuths, Reddit threads, the works. If DL's claims are true, this is no longer about whether Meghan faked a pregnancy for privacy. This is about the legitimacy of the royal line. 2 children presented to the world as royal blood, possibly born under totally fabricated circumstances, with Harry, Meghan, the palace, and perhaps even the media, all complicit. And Harry? He's no longer just the guy following Meghan's lead. DL's story paints him as a full co-conspirator. The prince who once stood in front of a stable announcing Archie's birth with a goofy grin is now being reevaluated entirely. People are remembering how weird that birth announcement was. No press outside the hospital, no photo call on the steps like Will and Kate. No confirmed hospital name, just Harry, talking about the baby like he'd come from a vet checkup. Strange then. Suspicious now. Then came the infamous birth certificate mess. Meghan's full legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, vanished from the dock and was replaced with Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. The palace brushed it off as a clerical change. Meghan said it was done without her permission. But now, it's being seen in a new, much darker light, because if Meghan wasn't the birth mother, listing her as such on legal documents could be fraud. That could explain why there's been no clean denial, just behind-the-scenes panic, legal teams in overdrive, and whispers of threats being sent to media outlets. Instead of just saying, "Here's the proof," she's lying, the Sussexes are reportedly throwing around legal threats and trying to bury the story. And when someone like DL is standing firm, waving around signed documents and offering to do DNA tests, and the other side is all silence and lawsuits, that says a lot. DL says she was recruited through a surrogacy agency in California and placed in near-total isolation. No friends, no visitors, strict privacy enforced by Meghan's team. According to DL, Meghan's people took care of everything. Her home, her medical care, even mental health support. But the second the babies were born, she was forgotten. No thank you, no follow-up care, just tossed aside like she never existed. She developed postpartum preeclampsia, a serious and life-threatening condition. DL says she barely got help and realized she'd been used. "I wasn't a person to them. I was a vessel," she told one journalist privately. That's when she started documenting everything. Texts, receipts, appointment logs, anything that could later prove her truth. And now, she's unloading it all. And she's not backing down. In fact, she's daring Meghan and Harry to take legal action. She's ready to testify under oath. She's ready for a DNA test conducted by an independent third party. The confidence she's showing? That's what's freaking people out the most. She doesn't sound like someone bluffing. The press is finally catching up. Not just tabloids. Actual big-name media outlets are poking around. Legal teams from major networks are reviewing DL's paperwork and determining if it's worth the risk to go public. At least 2 networks reportedly already have interviews recorded with DL, just waiting for the right time to air. Meanwhile, social media detectives are revisiting Meghan's old appearances. One in particular, when Meghan bent down in 2019 and her bump visibly collapsed, is making the rounds again. Before, it was explained away as a trick of fabric. Now, people aren't so sure. Harry's inner circle is reportedly in chaos. Friends say he's spiraling, angry, exhausted, unable to sleep, asking paranoid questions like, "Who knew? Did they lie to me?" One former staffer told reporters he's unraveling. He's caught in a lie he thought he could control. And Meghan? Total silence. No new Instagram posts, no Spotify updates, no Netflix trailers. For someone who thrives on staying in the public eye, her retreat is screaming volumes. Her PR firm hasn't issued a word. Behind the scenes, business partners are pulling back. Deals are under review. Sponsorships are pausing. Nobody wants to be associated with this royal mess. Legal action is escalating fast. Their lawyers are firing off cease and desist letters like confetti at a royal wedding, trying to scare off anyone thinking about giving DL a platform. But DL isn't budging. In fact, the more she's challenged, the more confident she seems. And here's where it gets real serious. This isn't just celebrity scandal anymore. British constitutional experts are quietly investigating the implications. Because if surrogacy was used and the palace wasn't informed, and transparency is a requirement for royal succession, then what happens to Archie and Lilibet? A former palace press secretary said it plainly. If this is true, it raises serious questions about legitimacy and title rights. The monarchy is based on transparency and tradition. This would be an unprecedented deception. And the public? They're not waiting for the palace to decide. Polls show Meghan and Harry's favorability has absolutely tanked. Their image, the one built on being relatable, honest, and independent, is crumbling. Behind closed doors, things are apparently worse than anyone imagined. Meghan is furious, blaming Harry for not shutting the story down earlier. She allegedly thinks his hesitation gave it room to explode. Harry, meanwhile, feels trapped. Everything he built outside the royal family, the brand, the privacy, the new life, is at risk of falling apart. Sources say the couple can't even stand to be in the same room right now. They're sleeping apart. Staff has been slashed. Their Montecito mansion, once sold to the world as a peaceful oasis, has turned into a fortress of tension and paranoia. And Meghan, she's in full damage control mode. Not for her marriage, for her brand, her lifestyle company, her skincare line, her wine. Everything she's touched professionally is under review. One insider put it bluntly, no one wants to be dragged into a scandal that could explode any minute. The couple's lawyers are scrambling, not just to block interviews, but to control what's already been said. Unfortunately for them, the genie is out of the bottle. And once those pre-recorded TV segments with DL drop, the entire game changes. What's got everyone raising their eyebrows even more is Meghan's refusal to respond. She's faced scandals before, tons of them, but she's always had something to say. A tweet, a lawsuit, a carefully crafted sit-down with Oprah. But now, not a single peep. That silence? It's not power, it's panic. People are starting to realize when a woman comes forward with this much evidence, publicly offers to do a DNA test, and the accused just hides? That says a lot, and it's not just the public catching on. The royal institution, yes, the very firm that Harry and Meghan once broke away from, is now quietly watching from the sidelines. Because if these kids, Archie and Lilibet, were born through undisclosed surrogacy, and if that violates royal birth protocols, then we're not just talking about PR fallout. We're talking about a full-blown constitutional mess. Insiders say the palace is rattled. Behind the scenes, senior aides are reaching out to legal historians, constitutional scholars, and advisors who've worked on royal protocol for decades. A full-blown investigation? Maybe not. But a quiet review? Oh, it's already happening. The question they're grappling with is a heavy one. Can children born via a secret surrogate hold royal titles? Can they remain in the line of succession if the rules were bent or broken without disclosure? Let's be real, this is uncharted territory. The monarchy has never dealt with a situation like this. Not in modern times, not in the digital age where one woman's receipts can be screenshotted 1,000,000 times and shared across the globe in seconds. Even Queen Elizabeth's former press secretary chimed in on the radio saying, this, if true, would be a first, and it could require serious legal reassessment of titles and succession. And while Meghan and Harry sit in their Montecito mansion trying to figure out their next move, the world is moving without them. Celebrities who once praised Meghan's every move, dead silent. Podcasts that built episodes around her activism, quietly deleting them. Even major brands that collaborated with her are tiptoeing away, afraid of being caught in the crossfire. Social media, which once gushed over their escape from royal life, has turned. The hashtags are brutal. Posts that once racked up likes for their couple shots are now filled with comments like, tell the truth, and where's the DNA test? The fairy tale has shattered. And for a couple who branded themselves on truth, transparency, and living their own story, this might be the most damning turn yet. Because if the world starts to believe that Harry and Meghan lied about something this big, about the very origin of their children, what else might they have hidden? Everything they built, Archewell, documentaries, book deals, speaking tours, it's all hanging by a thread now. And let's talk about those titles. Prince Archie, Princess Lilibet, those weren't just cute nicknames. They came with royal significance, royal weight, and if they were given under false pretenses, if the palace didn't know about the surrogacy or worse, was pressured to play along, then the monarchy itself has a problem. It's not about shame. Surrogacy isn't illegal. It's not wrong. But secrecy? That's where it all starts to crumble. because the monarchy runs on trust, on appearances, on tradition, and the idea that two children might have been secretly born through another woman, hidden from both the public and the institution, could be the crack that shakes the entire foundation. And DL isn't slowing down. Word is she's already received offers for book deals, sit-down interviews, even documentaries. She's got a story, and it's just beginning. Her confidence has become the most unsettling part of all this. She's not shaking, she's not retreating, she's standing tall, almost like someone who has nothing left to lose and everything to prove. She says she has more receipts, texts, emails, names, and she's reportedly saving those for the courtroom if it comes to that. So here we are, watching the fairy tale turn into a full-blown thriller as a woman named DL steps forward and does the one thing Harry and Meghan never expected. She told the truth. And the palace, the press, the public, they're all listening now.